Today is January 20th, 2021. It's also the day of Joe Biden's inauguration ceremony. I'm on the southeast side. Loop tank manifest phenomena can still be heard continuously. At this time, it's coming from the remote stratosphere to the north. And Butch Martin, as almost every time I do one of these activities, is copying my voice, my speech, with his voice, which does constitute cruel and unusual punishment amongst all that does other activities, harassing still. Oh, by the way, these Clarionites, such as Butch Martin, do know Joe Biden, and they are affiliated together, which is fact. Right there, I just heard Gary Horton. With the paranoid reaction. There's Catty Witch. When reaction with her emotional instabilities is a favorite word on a truncated protocol, and claims it with magical thinking of infantile mindedness. And has been informed by the Loop Tank insurrection analysis. Intelligence analysis, right. Okay, so since yesterday afternoon, I've intended to work on administrative matters. Matters with the Department of Department of Human Assistance of Sacramento County. Conspiratorial mistreatment of organized crime through that agency with my food stamps and decisions, completing administrative matters I intended to do, and also Judeo-Christian expository studies on the canon of Scripture, history. And now these are being delayed with even more harassment, procedural harassment, necessitating further administrative tasks for legal defense from racketeering legal harassment. Yesterday, the Loop Tank was, by the manifest phenomena, retaliating with typical antics of extreme mockery, pubescently, for defamation of character with ridicule, to my recent performed action on my VoIP.wordpress.com and remote storage on an Internet Archive account of a document correcting and finalizing the problematic effects of MacArthurian heresy of John MacArthur and the fallaciously misnomered Reformed theology cult in North America. There is retaliation from the public demonstration under treasonous color state action by a nefarious agency, retaliating yesterday, January 19th, 2021, while I was trying to sleep, and it disrupted my sleep and caused the delay of my sleep, and went into the afternoon Fritz Beinhoff of the Avon Lake Wiccan Occult faction was rioting and in collusion with the intents of so-and-so Hoflick of same cult and his previous students that he had child molested as a gym teacher at Avon Lake High School, who in the occultic pact to be affiliated with my sister, my so-called misnomered sister, Kathy Horton, which has been explained previously. In the intelligence name for separation of personality identities, Jackson, with a defining profile. The girls, Jenna something, Jensen, Annie DeChant, whose name is dangerous to really even mention because of her ego, and so she needs to be called Dopey Gillis, with dissociative identity confusion disorder, believing that she is my mother, who I believe has been murdered. This is in YouTube video intelligence document descriptions for reference. Fritz Beinhoff was childishly, immaturely, pubescently ridiculing, as he always does, my rough draft that I had remote stored a couple days ago, profusing pearl testimony with his antics that he was heavily involved with further evidence tampering over a long train of evidence and record tampering, flaunting his composition he was titling Decree Against Hyper-Calvinism, which is unlike me with my traits, claiming that he has been able to forge my handwriting for record and evidence tampering, and this being intended to be included amongst his record tampering of documents stolen by the Sacramento Police Department in early August against fundamental rights of search and seizure, and that they are forging to evidence tamper what documents and papers were amongst my personal papers and effects, to misrepresent me for false accusations, whatever they would imagine to falsify that would misrepresent any of my intentions or anything that I have ever done. When I had intended to take care of the administrative matters that I was intending, this suddenly made it occur to me that I suspect all of these types of record tampering and evidence tampering in malice intent to harm me with the abuses of the criminal justice system and so forth. I have had most of what hard copies were contained in my backpack that was stolen, with personal papers and effects inside, coveted by enemies, and in context with that I had reported several crimes to the FBI with many acts, and this was retaliation and malice to steal my backpack. backed up with digital copies on my IT system, also coveted for illegal search and seizure on my person, and have since been able to recover hard copies, printing out digitized copies of them. As a solution, I've remotely stored the directory of these digitized copies of hard copies. That was most of what was contained in my backpack, to my Internet Archive account, and linked on my website, voip.wordpress.com. This is an accurate record of what personal papers and effects were in my backpack. There was minimal loss of the personal papers and effects, not able to be salvaged. Amongst this short list was a copy of St. Augustine's City of God and Reformed Pastor by Richard Baxter. Some of a textbook on criminal law, but I have other equivalents on my digital files. This did cause damages of cost to have to recover these hard copies, and that did cost quite a bit for me in my predicament of being indigent and blacklisted from all employment. So I did these acts yesterday instead of what I really had to be doing from procedural harassment with administrative matters, delaying a multitude of other previous ones. And this continues to go on. So for any intention to see an accurate record of the contents of my personal papers and effects in my backpack that day, refer to 2020 Document Recovery Repository on my website on the homepage. And lastly, Joe Biden, I want my birth certificate back. I know that you were involved in 2007 with a conspiracy against me at 910th Airlift Wing with members of my family like Gary Horton. One of my administrative matters from legal harassment is that the DOD did forfeit their contract with me by UCMJ infractions, and I do know that you were involved. My birth certificate, as you do know, Joe Biden, is able to be acquired in Newcastle, Pennsylvania, and you are from Scranton. And now these are being delayed with even more harassment, procedural harassment, necessitating further